I don't know what I've done to my fucking OBS setup, but I have completely and totally ruined it. I mentioned during the King Cobra stream that I'd probably get some blowback from Reddit. Grandpa Ethereum. I found this extremely dull so far. Sounds like he barely even knows anything about our little boglum. Social media. I'm a fucking poser. He said in a previous stream he didn't know very much about our Lord. It's true. I had to cram 20 pages into notes. I think he tried to help Chris, but we all know how that turned out. And people get super angry at me and like are like appalled that I would ever help Chris. And it's like, fuck you. I'll help whoever the fuck I want, motherfucker. Noel's the real idiot here. He believed that Chris could do things. It's like, yeah, of course I did, because he did. I put him to work. I said I sold, like 100 drawings or however much. I think it was like 100 different commissions, and he did like 5 a day every day, and he was well on his way to completing them. And people are giving me shit for that, for proving that he can work to support himself. Wow, what a fucking psychopath I am. I'm trying to cover what people ask me to talk about, and that's not enough, because these people who like gatekeep someone like King Cobra, they really think you have to be in their community, you have to be someone they know, you have to be sanctioned by them. And if you try to talk about this guy and you're not sanctioned with their Reddit fucking hive mind, then you're an idiot. You can't possibly have the rights to talk about the King Cobra JF. Like, fuck away. I threw away my 20s with the Kiwi farms. Oh, I would have been much better doing tax payroll software. Fuck off. I'd rather be dead, motherfucker. I've listened to a few of Noel's streams, and I can't deny that he's a smart dude, but he definitely has no life, and his negativity is depressing. Noel is almost at the point of no return. I think he needs to find some people to hand control of Kiwi farms over to. Name one. If you have a name of someone who's willing to sacrifice everything because they're about to get fucking sued, and Vordrak is going to go after their entire extended family, feel free to name some fucking names. Oh, people that know low-level networking, people that can manage the machines, people that can manage all the shit that I fucking do. Feel free to name who that person is and who's willing to actually commit to hosting the site. I dare you, motherfucker. Just try. Shout out to Curvy Anna, which sounds like a contradiction. It sounds like curvy anorexic almost. I'll be enjoying his stream, and then pow, he says something ridiculously racist, and it's a bummer. Oh, and Dianga says, yeah, I was going to mention that too. It's never just a racial joke. It's legitimately anger-fueled racist comments. Like, they find me mostly from the girl cow streamers, and then they're just like, wait, this guy is funny, and he makes a lot of edgy jokes about race. And then after a little bit, they're like, wait a second. There's something wrong with this. These don't seem like jokes anymore. I'm getting uncomfortable. So what happened is that Kotaku, the wonderful games journalist establishment that it is, released an article. Wow, turns out these games look way better when they're not made by a weird Christian dude. If you don't know, Scott Cawthorn is like a religious Christian. He's like a fundamentalist, and he has a big family, a big white family, and that pisses off a lot of people. So when he made millions and millions of dollars with the sensational franchise Five Nights at Freddy's, he donated a lot of money to like churches and religious organizations and also Republican politicians, including Mitch McConnell and Matt Gaetz, which pissed off a lot of fucking people. So he ended up, I think he either retired from Five Nights at Freddy's or he just sold the franchise rights to Sony directly. This is the first game that's come, and it looks fucking horrific. If I'm gonna be serious, I don't know what the fuck this has to do with horror, or maybe, I mean, the 80s is pretty scary just because everyone looks so horrific in movies and shit from the 80s, but I don't know what this is supposed to be, but obviously because it's the first game without Scott Cawthorn attached to it, it's going to be the best one of the series, a real revitalization. What's his face? Jim Sterling got into a little back and forth and said Cawthorn is a Christian fundamentalist who donated to right-wing anti-LGBTQ plus politicians base. He is weird and he is Christian. I would like to dedicate a minute and a half to Jim Sterling reading comments that he received in reply to this. I've really noticed when he loves to use stock footage, right? So when he does stock footage of like gamers, he always uses like white men. When he uses stock footage to represent himself, he's either using like Harley Quinn or like this chick right here. When he talks about the gamers though, when he talks about bad people, white man, angry, snarling. There's another one where it's just like a stock photo of like a woman thinking. But anytime he's talking about himself or good people, he uses browns or he uses women. And when he talks about bad people, it's always white men or white children.
How's your YouTube numbers, dude? Oh, sorry, did I misgendered you? Well, I don't fucking care. How's your wife's boyfriend? Well, my YouTube numbers suck since I came out as trans. My wife's boyfriend is doing pretty well, last I heard, and I haven't stopped laughing at your I don't fucking care, as if misgendering a trans person is some badass act of rebellion by a renegade who plays by no rules.
Women love a transphobe, anti-gay. I do love that defense that, how's your wife's boyfriend? And he's just like, my wife's boyfriend is doing A-okay, mate. I'm a proud cook, I am. I think this is the first time that he's ever acknowledged what happened to this. I think she was just referred to as the ham beast. This woman was found on the FetLife because they were looking for partners for an open relationship, and I think they were specifically looking for black men.
Please shut up, trans trender, says the person who turned NB for clout. A white man using the name Stephanie is calling a man weird for having religious beliefs. Imagine being so mentally deranged you think Jim Sterling is pretty. This one just says fat.
By the way, after this, people pointed out that this is like his professional thing for his wrestling thing. This picture of him. This is like how he presents himself to his wrestling people, and he's doing I don't know if it's intentional, but this looks a lot like the Jared Leto damage. It has to be an intentional Jared Leto damage impression, because that's exactly what it looks like.
Well, it seems that somebody at Wrestler's Lab has finally seen sense and extended an invitation to the super heavyweight supervillain, the poly-antagonist, the pan-galactic princess of pansexual pandemonium, Commander Sterling. Yes, oh my, yes. What a time we're going to have.
The dog collar is a nice touch. I hate this wrestling shit more than anything in the world. So, Baked Alaska, in case you're unaware, maced a bouncer. He went to a bar in Arizona. The bouncer tells him to leave. Baked Alaska, indignant, gets up in his face and was like, bro, I thought you guys were like fucking Trump, man. I thought you guys were like anti-lockdown, man. And the bouncer's just like, get the fuck out of here, you retard. And Baked Alaska winces and retreats. And then over the course of 10 seconds, because I've counted this before, he uncaps pepper spray and sprays the guy in the face. And you could say, okay, maybe that's like an equitable exchange. He gets yelled at in the ear and he gets shoved, and then Baked Alaska sprays him. Maybe that's fair as far as self-defense goes. There was a time after that, immediately after that, where Baked Alaska turns his back on the threat, the person that he's claiming he's in fear for his life, and sprays him in the face without even looking at him. He walks away from him while spraying. Not a fucking chance. Nobody on earth is gonna look at that and say, oh, he's really afraid now. That guy's coming, he's coming right for him. Uncap the pepper spray and run away while spraying so that he can't follow you. No, he's fucked. So let's listen to the judge hand up the ruling, just for posterity's sake.
Having heard the testimony, having viewed the exhibits, having heard the arguments of the parties, we have 3 charges. First one, we'll take them in order, backwards, I guess, from the way it was charged. On criminal trespass, we have the best evidence, because we could all watch the event occur as it occurred, which I don't remember what exhibit that was. Was that States 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, States 1. We see the defendant leaving the building, in the process of leaving the building. We have the defendant go to where the arm is stretched out, showing the location, the general location. We have the defendant still standing there, facing the Mr. Pecora, the bouncer, or security person. We have Mr. Sikora telling him, Mr. Pecora, the security person, telling him, stop blocking my doorway. The defendant not moving, the defendant staying there. Then we have the person shoving him quite a big show. But of course, that's not the charge here, so I'm not here to rule one way or the other of that. But we do have the defendant clearly trespassing by not moving and staying there, and with his face right next to Mr. Pecora's face. As to the disorderly conduct, the court finds the defendant guilty. As to the assault, I understand the defense argument on the first spray because he was shoved, but again, the shoving is not for the court here. But then we have, after the retreat occurs, we have the defendant having a pause, and then again spraying pepper gel at Mr. Pecora. And therefore, I find that this, beyond a reasonable doubt, the assault, and I believe the state has proven beyond a reasonable doubt that it was not justified. Do the parties wish to proceed to sentencing today?
Your Honor, the state...
So that's the interesting part. The remainder of that little clip is just the state saying that they would not like to have sentencing done then because the state intends to introduce aggravating circumstances as far as sentencing goes. So they're trying to get not only a sentence, but they're trying to get a maximum sentence. So they're going to bring in information and say, like, not only was he being a fucking asshole, he was being a huge fucking asshole, and he deserves the maximum. So they're going to try to throw the book at him. But not just Arizona is trying to throw the book at him. The U.S. government is trying to throw the book at him. I think he walked on the trespassing charge or something, or he had some. What was his deal with the U.S. government for January 6th? Because he did not get, he didn't get fucked with. Like, he didn't get. Obviously, he's not in jail. Did he just go confidential informant with that? That's what people think, right? Is that he went CI on the January 6th thing, but people think that he got a really light deal, and he's probably a Fed, which could be true. I don't know. But if that is a Fed, he must have done something else to piss off the government, because the U.S. government is apparently, and I don't know the details, I don't know if this is the state, I don't know if this is the U.S. federal government, I don't know where this charge come from. Just received word from my attorney. The U.S. government is filing charges against me for allegedly taking down a cardboard Happy Hanukkah song from over a year ago on stream and charging me with a hate crime. Great fucking country we live in. I am a political prisoner, and they're trying to bleed me dry. I need your help. This is messed up.
Yeah, I wish I could perpetrate a hate crime. I love hate. I think we need more hate. So you want to hoax a hate crime? Step number one. All right, so I don't want to... I don't know. Isn't this a public sign or something? There we go.
Okay, that's a good segue into Ralph. I mentioned last Friday that I published an article with Zero Hedge called Where the Sidewalk Ends, the Death of the Internet. My intentions were to create an article that was informative to normal people to understand the threats that the internet faces in terms of a balkanization, the internet splitting up into many smaller networks. That would be a lowercase I internet. But for whatever reason, Ralph took it very personally that I had been published in Zero Hedge. You see this article that he wrote about me, and then you see this Great Recharge. And the Great Recharge is like his article about how he's going to go back to his roots, and he's going to rebuild himself up with this blog where it all started from, back before even Gamergate. I'm gonna prop myself up. I built myself up with my blog. I could do it again. Sure as shoot. So he publishes this about how he's gonna write more, and then the same week, coincidentally, not planned. I honestly did not intend to piss off Ralph by contributing to fucking Zero Hedge. My article gets published, and I think that makes him angry. Like 15 minutes after my stream, by the way. But he says, your new contributor, Josh Moon, sure has some interesting quotes. Zero Hedge. Hope no one in the media picks this up. He's quite liberal with his use of the N-word and is actually bragging about the alleged nudes of Shoe on Head. Not sure who made this editorial call. And I say, here's a quote from this Josh at kiwifarms.cc. I don't know what This looks kind of like Twitter, but it's not Twitter. It's this kiwifarms.cc. Very strange. I don't know what this kiwifarms.cc is. Seems like a place where people can join and say whatever they want, and you should totally join it. But Josh at kiwifarms.cc says, it's nice living in a place where everyone is just Serbian or Ukrainian and there's no neighbors. And then I say, here, I just fucking hate neighbors. Number one, I'm not bragging about hosting the nudes. It's a weird way to... I'm saying that a lot of people signed up specifically to see it. And I castigate these people as coomers, as sort of a negative take on it. But what's really great about this is that he's trying to get Shoe on Head to join his crusade against me, right? Like, he expects this reply to be like a quote retweet saying like, yeah, that fucking Kiwi Farms, Zero Head should totally not let this guy write articles for them about the internet. That's bad, and Kiwi Farms should be shut down. But she didn't do that. You know why? You want to guess why, chat? She's not going to quote tweet this. Not because she's intimidated by my epic powers to epically own everyone, right? She probably doesn't want people to know she has nudes out there, and probably doesn't appreciate Ralph advertising this fact to people. She probably really doesn't like it, because I checked the replies, by the way, and several people are like, wait, Shoe on Head has nudes on the Kiwi Farms? Like, thanks for advertising my site, though I don't really want coomers who are also Ralph's audience to join it. Zero Hedge publishes Kiwi Farms owner Josh Moon, I just fucking hate neighbors. Which is what I assume it says. What else? It starts with an N, and ends with an RS. It's neighbors. It fits perfectly. I've been a long time reader of Zero Hedge. In fact, that site has been cited there. In fact, this site has been cited there many times. ZeroHedge.com. Ethan Ralph. No hits. The Ralph retort. No hits. Let's try it with spaces, chat. Nothing. Maybe you need the hashtag killstream. I don't know. I mean, I'm only an expert Googler. From what I understand, it's actually never been mentioned in any capacity ever. Ralph. Oh, and the great thing about this, by the way, is that he tried to bring this up too. He tried to show people he had been used many times on Zero Hedge, and you can see his little history here. Caesars Virginia's sportsbooks are betting burn it down songs. Caesars Virginia case capitalized sportsbooks near me. Josh Moon, Kid Diddler, and the Ralph retort Zero Hedge. So that exact query would turn up nothing, but he was trying to find an example for his article. I'll tell you what the root of my racism is, chat. All I want is a country like China for the Chinese, Israel for the Jewish, Japan for the Japanese. I just want that. I just want that for white people. Where can white people go? It's like a white country. The Swiss, I don't know if anyone's in the audience is Swiss. If you are, I hate you. The Swiss have the worst accent ever. When I was in the Geneva International Airport and I had to listen to Swiss people talk, I legit got a migraine. They have the worst way of speaking ever. They speak 5 languages. They speak English, German, Italian, French, and Romansh. And they speak all of them wrong. Even Romansh, which is spoken nowhere else. All of those languages are horrifically deformed by the Swiss person. So fuck Switzerland. Is there any coin update? Go to the site. If you go to the site, the page that says that is the product page, look at the description. All the updates go there. Why aren't they going out? Great question. I'm emailing them every day. Why don't you mail the fucking coins out? Why haven't you imported the orders correctly? No movement on that. They charge me, by the way, they already charged me for shipping, so I've given them $10,000 for the shipping, and it's still not going out. People gave me shit. You know where the coins are made? They're made in fucking Indonesia. So all these people who are like South Indochina, half Muslim, half Asian people, and they're like, oh, well, you exported your coins to Asia. Of course they're wrong. They went to the money went to Asia just fine. They imported the silver from the fucking Turks because they have a lot of precious metals. So the silver came from the Nadir precious metal reserve in Turkey. They got that. They made beautiful coins, exactly as asked. They got it through customs. Even the U.S. fucking government can do its job and pass my shit through customs. And then it arrives at the warehouse, and the Americans are like, "Durr, I have a box of coins, and I have a list of addresses. Durr, I got $10,000 to mail these out. Durr, how do I take coins? It's a one product. There's not like 8 different kinds of coins in the box you have to sort through to put it to the fucking order list. There is one type of coin and a list with a name, address, and the number of fucking coins that are going to them." And they're like, "Durr, how do I do this? How do I do my job? It's the only fucking thing we do at this company. How do we do our fucking job?" Great question, Josh. Maybe next time I'll do it with the fucking Chinese. The Chinese seem to be able to take coin, put in envelope, send in fucking mailbox. That seems to work just fine, but the Americans can't figure this shit out, chat. Go figure. So then Ralph got really angry and "Well, I may have done Vegas a little too hard because I had to go to the hospital from the airport. I was having some sort of a heart episode, it was called a heart attack, Ralph. You're having heart palpitations because you're dying. On the bright side, I love this. On the bright side, nitroglycerin really fucking works. After a couple hours, they put that patch on that shit on me and it cleared it all up. Like, yeah, I was dying of a heart attack in the airport. And then when the ambulance rolled up, they said, "Oh shit, you're that folk who's got that MGM credit card. Well, this is an MGM ambulance, so we're going to give y'all the finest nitroglycerin money can't buy. Just for you, Mr. High Roller. Welcome to Las Vegas." And he's like, thank you. I know it takes a lot out of y'all to provide this level of service to me, the king of the Killstream.tv. But I thank y'all from the bottom of my heart. And they slap that shit on, and it's like good as new. Problem solved. Don't gotta worry about it. Back to eating the plain beef the very same day. Nah, I'm as healthy as a fat fuck can be. Never had any beatus or any of that shit. I'm very agile fat man. I played sports and shit growing up. I'm not a fucking nerd at all. Not hard to find here in Vegas either. Come stop by. Where does that second paragraph even come from? There was when I worked fast food for a year when I was like 18, 19, I had a woman who was one of my managers, and her name was Marietta. She was a immigrant from Belarus, and she fucking hated me. And I never did anything wrong to her. I was always on time. I was not a bad worker. I did my job studiously. Everyone else loved me. All my other managers and I got along perfectly. But Marietta fucking hated me, and I never understood why. Like, she was such a bitch to me for no fucking reason. And I remember complaining at my grandfather and be like, why does this manager fucking hate me so much? And he said, like, sometimes people just don't like you. And to those people, you just say yes sir, no sir, and you get on with it. You just ignore them. And you try not to have any interactions with them because it's just going to cause problems. And I hated that reply. It's like, I should be able to win people over. Even people over like Marietta who just fucking hate me for no apparent reason. And, I never did. She hated me until the day I quit. It's true. It's advice I don't like, but it is true. There are some people who just fucking hate you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And it's frustrating because you don't want to let people down, and sometimes it feels like you do. You know what I mean? Well, see, that's the frustrating thing. If I had just fucked something up and she resented me for that, I would understand more. But she always just hated me. And that's super frustrating because then you don't know and you'll never know. To this day, I don't know what I ever did to piss her off. The only thing I can think of is I kept saying that she was Russian. Now that I think about it, now that I know what I know. Because there were several Belarusian immigrants that were working at that place, and I always called Belarus Russia, and I think that pissed them off. The mystery solved after 10 years, chat.
Chilling with a picture of Bud Light, no copyright infringement intended now. Fuck racism, fuck sexism, fuck abuse and power to the people. Okay. I'm actually good on drinking for a couple days after tonight. Give my kidneys a break. I've been partying my ass off for the last 2 days. Meet any of-age fangirls yet? Yeah, maybe I have, maybe I haven't. Man of mystery. Dude, look at my beer phone. I shit you not. Like, it formed a little ghost. You can see right there, the head. Dude.
If you got people fucking calling here time after time, get the fuck out and don't come back.
Dude, I can't control these fuckers, dude.
You can.
No, I cannot. No, I cannot, dude. I'm autistic.
Get off your fucking phone.
Leave me alone,
We
dude.
that bullshit here. We don't need it.
I don't want to hear, dude. I'm not the one asking him to do that
They're
shit.
still calling.
I'm not the one controlling it, dude.
Get the fuck out of here. They don't call when you're not here. Get the fuck out of here.
Leave me the fuck
You're a
alone,
fucking
dude.
dipshit.
Dude, fucking leave me alone. I'm autistic.
No, get the fuck out of here. No shit. They keep calling. You got 3 more calls. If they call 3 more times, you're fucking out. You're out.
Dude, fuck the trolls, YouTube. This is bullshit. I refuse to let my trolls fucking get to me, dude. Guess what? I know the owner of Frosty, so that guy can't tell me shit. I sit here, and I'm like, I'm not causing any fucking trouble to anyone, man. I'm just trying to enjoy my fucking Halloween night. This is bullshit. And fuck that cocksucker talking shit. He's lucky I didn't kick his fucking ass. Think it's fun to fucking ask somebody with autism, you little fuck? I'm not even fucking talking to you, dude. Dude, this guy doesn't know my story. He's just coming up and fucking starting shit with me. You fucking saw that shit. I'm just like, dude, leave me the fuck alone. I'm having my beer. They're gonna close. I'm leaving. Leave me the fuck alone. The only reason I didn't kick his fucking ass is because I don't want to get kicked out of Frosty's, and I don't want a fucking assault charge on my ass. I'm glad I'm carrying a fucking pocket knife. Homeboy wanted to start some shit. I don't make threats. I'm just saying, though. I'm like, really? Dude was sensing my alpha male energy and he got intimidated. It's the truth. I'm trying to promote my local businesses, and this is the thanks I get.
What an asshole. He should have stayed in and talked with me instead. That would have been a much better Halloween. That's called karma, Josh. Okay, see you guys then. Bye.
Bye.